everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Bradley Ellis,
Yoshi,
Michael Damiani, and Brandon Jones.
Yoshi, I guess. Something about Yoshi.
Yeah, that's great, Jones. Brad, what is your goal this week?
my goal is to keep my hood on for the entire episode.
Ooh, whoa, very cool.
And a side goal is to get Kyle to put his hood on at a point.
Wow.
Bonus
Side
points,
goal.
extra credit goals.
Yes.
Side goal.
All right.
Michael Damiani, your goal this week.
My goal is to not laugh at anything from Kyle Bossman.
Too easy.
Anything you say,
Yeah.
or
Too
any
easy.
reaction you have to something.
This
So
goal
even-
seems mean-spirited.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Why?
Because I usually laugh at something like you do. It's like, oh my god, and I start laughing because I was like, that's Kyle.
Yeah.
But like, that's not bad. That's like you. You have a way that you can like make me laugh sometimes. You just
Yeah.
like you just can break me down.
I'm a naturally funny
so
comedian.
I have to stop. See?
Yeah.
The goal
then you
starts
laugh.
after
Okay,
we're
the
done
goal
here.
starts
The goal
now.
starts after
Great.
we're done here. See, there we go.
Brandon Jones, your goal this week.
My goal this week is to say something as Batman. To say
As Batman.
to say a thing to one or all of you.
A specific Batman?
Yeah, do you got a
or
specific Batman for us?
Just
just
Batman.
Batman?
Jones Batman.
Okay. Jones
is
Batman.
The debut of Jones is Batman.
I'm sure I've done a Batman voice at some point.
I've been
But it's
waiting for
always
this.
you doing
Nice.
someone else's Batman voice.
Never. I'm never. What,
Never.
So if I was asking you to do a Batman voice, you'd be like, I'm gonna do Michael Keaton. Like you would pick, like you
Yes.
could do the Bale. The Bale I think is the easiest
Yeah,
one
that's
to
the
make
one
fun
that I
of.
default to, yeah.
Whereas could someone do a Kilmer? Oh, nice Kilmer. Like what?
There's Harvey. No.
I guess yeah. Adam West. I guess
Yeah.
you could do. Like,
Yeah.
We'll use
Okay.
bat ropes. Yeah.
So-
We'll do Adam West. No.
Everyone, this is a very exciting podcast. You're about to witness the debut of Jones's Batman voice.
History.
He's been working
In the
on
making.
this. This is basically his audition.
For 38 years.
Yes.
All right. Let's do it.
My goal is to say something intelligent, something that Jones says, you know, Kyle, you're kind of a smart guy.
All right.
Yep. Okay, let's, speaking of intelligence, let's start our corrections music, please. There's a Vita game called Demon Gaze 2 that is Etrian Odyssey-esque. I was like, Etrian Odyssey, that's like the only game of its type, isn't it? I was like, nah, Kyle, no. She's like, I don't know. You're right. Mist Online Uru Live did close themselves to new accounts to focus on abduction, but have since reopened themselves to new accounts. Fire Emblem Warriors has a 60 FPS mode. A lot of these are updates. I was complaining about the performance of Fire Emblem Warriors. It has two different modes, and one of them is a performance mode where it's just 60.
Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I like when games do that.
Yeah, it's weird to see Switch games do that. Because,
Yeah.
right, we're used to just
Yeah.
like PlayStation 4 Pro games and Xbox One X games.
Yeah,
PC
that or
games?
like I would have thought the 3DS version or something, like turning off the 3D like back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's a little
It's cool.
interesting to hear that on Switch.
I hope that sets a precedent. I don't mind it. I think that's cool.
That's not like it's not just portable mode is not 60 and docked is 60.
No,
means
man.
docked has two versions now.
Docked has two
Whoa,
versions.
okay. Interesting.
Which would you choose?
For Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
Definitely would favor the 60 frames mode.
Over visuals?
For each new character I played and each new level, I'd probably start off in the nicer visual mode.
Wow.
But after about 15 minutes,
15-minute cap.
I
The
love it.
expression
I would switch
Sets
up-
his alarm.
It's like, all right, cool new stuff. This gameplay, I need it to like look like smooth.
Yeah.
It's combat based. I don't want to
Let's
deal
get
with
serious.
this. Yeah.
I get the character models, I get the expressions and the animations.
Hey, just want to see those secret attacks once. Very
Yes,
spectacular
yeah, the
looking and
supers.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those can run at 30 frames or whatever is sub 60. But then when you're going for that like better ranking, you want to actually finish it. You
Yeah.
want to show off your skills. You gotta go for that 60 frames.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had a new trailer the day after we recorded our podcast last week.
Ooh.
That was my toaster strudel. Damn it. Yep. And that after that trailer, I went from a no buy to a buy. I'm now totally.
They
into
got
Ultra
you.
Sun.
They got you.
Because it showed off new
Whoa,
environments. It showed,
really?
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
It showed a whole new world, Jones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Spoilers?
We
you
haven't
mean?
talked about
Huge
this, Kyle.
spoilers. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay. New environments?
New environments.
Oh, jeez. I'm still not gonna play it, but
Do you remember when you go
But
into the
that's more.
dimension? Do you remember like when that? It's just a really short part of the game where
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
that alternate dimension. There's a huge chunk of the game in that alternate dimension now.
Oh, okay.
And there's a scene. It's like Ready Player One. You know, where it's like, and it shows like Deathstroke, and he's just like walking into the ballroom. It looks like that in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
It doesn't look like that.
Pokemon Yellow,
close to a
Crystal,
laugh right
Emerald,
there.
Platinum, Black and White 2 all came out 2 years after their first counterpart, not one.
Dude, I thought you were just naming a really long Pokemon game. Like just one game for a
Yellow,
second.
Crystal, Emerald, Platinum. You played that one? It's very good. And this is a really interesting follow-up to our Wolfenstein conversation we had many podcasts ago about how they would change their advertising campaign. Because just last week, they had a tweet which said, "Make America Nazi-free again, hashtag no more Nazis, hashtag Wolf2." And that included a video that just showed marching masked Nazi soldiers, and it goes, "Not my America."
Blazkowicz.
They
coming
leaned in.
Oh yeah, no, they
leaned in.
Yeah,
And that's actually a very popular tweet. It was well liked, well retweeted.
it was scandalous. There were definitely some people that raged against it.
Wait, really? Well, no.
They exist, whether there's a lot of them or not. But I saw
know
many
what?
negative tweets.
That's fair
framed
because-
and shown to the world.
Yeah,
of
'cause-
people that were not a fan of that.
The next day, Pete Hines had to come out and say, I forget. It's astounding to me that anti-Nazi is a position or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And corrections music. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. That was a way to take that. Jones, you got a little bug
I do, a little
on
guy.
your pop filter. You want to
And
keep him?
Yeah, I'm keeping him. He's green.
Yeah, that's a cool green little bug.
He's like bright green. He's like a lime-colored Skittle. That little guy. I like him a lot. I hope he hangs out there the whole time.
You
My
gotta-
goal is to keep him on the mic.
You gotta get
That's all amendment.
the orchard Skittles, the apple orchard Skittles, to get the lime now.
The lime doesn't come with the OG?
Nah, it's
what
green.
What replaced
it's green
them?
apple in
Oh,
the
it's green
OG.
apple. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's silly.
Lame.
Wait, a lime with a green apple?
Because the
Yeah.
lemon and lime in the same package. Is,
It was a downgrade. It was-
once they
it's-
had to diversify their flavors.
There they go after Jolly
those two together,
Ranchers.
they split them apart.
We have to begin our podcast this week with a subject that isn't fun for me to talk about, but it's showing up a lot in Love and Respect. It's showing up a lot on all the blogs, all the message boards, all over Twitter. It's loot boxes. It's almost our responsibility to have a podcast in which
It's
we
Loot Box
talk
Week.
about loot boxes. It's loot box week.
Welcome to Loot Box Week.
Loot box week.
We're cracking boxes.
We're cracking boxes wide open. Forza 7's got loot boxes. Shadow of War's got loot boxes. Star Wars Battlefront 2, controversial loot boxes. Assassin's Creed Origins might have it. Practically all sports games got it. Call of Duty World War II Zombies.
Such
rumored,
a
it's got
fascinating
some-
trend now.
Yeah.
Gears 4 had it.
Yeah, oh
And
yeah,
none of the other
yeah.
Gears
If we're
had,
looking
so-
at like past games, yeah, like it's absurd. Open Critic announced last week that they're gonna try to crack down on it. They're gonna report each game which kind of microtransactions they have attached to it. And I think they said in their tweet, "We're taking a stand against loot boxes."
Okay.
Open Critic's like they want everybody to know buying this thing what kind of microtransactions will be in it.
Sure.
And so it's time. It's time for Easy Allies podcast to handle this. What's up, Damiani?
Why don't you start off, Kyle, and explain for people who aren't completely familiar with loot boxes, what's a loot box in a video game?
Sure. A loot box is there's a wide range of what we could consider a loot box. There's something inside of this little magic box that is randomized. There could be a good thing in the box, or there could be a bad thing in the box, or just a simply normal thing, which is bad because it's not the good thing. It's not the legendary thing. Loot boxes generally, but not always, could be bought with real dollars, real currency. And that's really why they're in most of these games. I'm thinking of like Diablo 2 had loot boxes, right? You'd walk up to a treasure chest and you'd get randomized treasure inside of that. You would kill an enemy and you would, well, I guess Diablo 1 even, right? You get randomized loot. That's not a new concept. Loot boxes is more recent. Even like just you think of sports games have randomized packs, and inside of those randomized packs, you get players for your teams and things like that. It's all loot boxes, baby. Damiani, was that a sufficient explanation?
Yes, that was
Okay.
very good, Kyle.
So here's what we're doing on this podcast, because I want to have an interesting conversation about loot boxes. I don't want to be stressed out. The segment is called The Easy Allies Podcast Fixes Loot Boxes in 15 minutes. We're
Yeah.
gonna put 15 minutes on the clock. We're gonna fix it.
No stress.
No stress. We're gonna fix loot boxes. We get 15 whole minutes.
15
Brad.
minutes,
Are
yeah.
you ready? And go. Fix loot boxes.
More than one currency. First, well, this isn't a fix because people do this, but maybe we just kick off with good practices, like things we have seen work in the past for people that have loot boxes, and like
More currencies is your solution?
no more than one.
Oh,
So, because obviously, like you need a currency that's the buy-in. That's I put money in, I get that currency, and then I can spend that on special things. But you have to have like don't if you just have one currency and you got to pay it, period.
Yeah.
Then there's no way I can get those loot boxes ever unless I give money, and that's bad. Like I think out of the gate, you don't want to have that system where literally I need the boxes and I can't get them until I give you money. If you're not completely upfront about that's how the entire game works beforehand, you are guaranteeing a negative a backlash.
Can I get some context on how these work in like Shadow of War?
Yeah.
So,
Jones got you.
Shadow of War, just based on personal experience, I never ever hit a point in that game where I was like, I need loot boxes. Like, there was a point when I realized, when I was running around gathering orcs, I can just buy a couple of these chests they're called in Shadow of War, and those will give me troops, and then I can use those troops to fill out my army. With the gold currency, I use that with the white coin currency. If I spent money, I could get the gold coin currency that would then get me better loot boxes.
So it could affect the gameplay?
It just means that if you go out into the world and find a couple level 40 guys and bring them into your army, you could get a loot box that just comes with a couple level 40 guys, and then you just throw them in your army. Or gear that you could then put on yourself. But I never felt hungry for gear. I was never like, I'm not geared enough for this fight. It was just like...
Yeah, Jones, I wonder about the context, though.
So,
what's happening in that world? Is that character opening a chest that orcs come out of?
They do have the context for like a marketplace person. So like there is an orc that's like, hey. Like when you buy one, he's like, good, thanks for buying it. But when the actual things open, like it's just like a blue teleporting thing, and then they appear.
He's the guy who rubs his hands together in the Jim Sterling videos. It's this guy that orc right here.
Kinda, yeah, they have that vibe. I actually think the worst thing about the loot boxes in Shadow of War is the actual animation and process of doing them. Because like,
it's not good.
Overwatch is kind of fun. They explode, flipping up in the air, and then land and shine, and you can click on each of them. Even Fortnite, which I love, you do loot boxes. They made them into like you're whacking pinatas. So tactily, it's actually kind of fun to like swing an object and smash the thing, and then they go through the objects really quickly. Here's everything you got, moving on.
Yeah.
Shadow of War, the entire process is really slow. There's lots of loading because it's got to like input the information into the Nemesis system, and so just like I bought 3 of them. I was like, wow, I'm never doing that again. I would much rather just go out and find an orc for my army than spend 10 minutes like going through my loot stuff. So yeah, going back though, I think at least having one split between currencies, at least having 2 different currencies.
Yes.
So that's because, like I said, at the end of Shadow War, I found myself with a lot of that white coin currency to spend on loot boxes, just not like the best ones I could get. So there was always potentially the temptation for me to invest, and for the people that want the game to move a little bit faster or want to have that edge, they can. But I still have a lot of other things I can get in the system without ever putting in money or even being asked to.
So, Damiani, here's my issue with loot boxes. Altogether. Entirely. Why I don't even like talking about them on the podcast. To me, that is a game design element added not to make games more fun or interesting, but to add an additional revenue source to the game. So, even though Jones spent $0 extra, he still had to deal with that element. That was still a design element of the chests.
I guess, so I'll be clear here.
Yes, be
I
clear with me.
I understand the concept of loot boxes.
Yes.
The problem is, I'm trying to find something analogous to what I've played personally.
You've played The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. You dropped little amiibo on there, and you got little random chests full of good items.
Yeah.
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 But
The loot
those
boxes fall from the sky.
You could cheese that at least.
You
Okay.
could just pass.
But it's expensive.
Okay,
I'm not defending it.
okay, so here's the thing. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
But as Brad said, like there is a way to get what you want definitively as long as you have the amiibo, which costs money.
Yeah.
You can definitely get it. For one, I need an experience where unless you want to get banned, if you get caught, like if you caught like cheating on these online games, you're gone. You're risking your account. There's no way you can game the loot system without paying more into it or earning enough in-game currency, so like grinding through it to get that, and it's just a chance for that.
Yeah.
Like the best experience, the only similar experience I've had to that is in like 14 when you complete like a dungeon or beat a boss. It's randomized what will be in there, but it's per job. It's not that the item could be bad or good. It's that item is only going to be for a certain job, so it might not be the one you can use.
But it's still pulling the handle on the slot machine.
Yeah, but it's not to the degree of this. This sounds like you can get something that's not only you can't use, but it's completely trash as well. It's like just junk, like throwaway stuff. It's like and you might have had like pay for
14 is throwaway stuff. What are you going to do with an item for some other class?
it. If you level it up, you could use it. It could be useful. But here's the thing.
Okay.
So for helping the solution. But this is not, game companies will not do this because this takes away from the profit part of it.
Yeah.
This only gets people to continue playing the game. So if they care more about like subscription, I mean, a game as a service, let's put it that way. So instead of using the word subscription, this will keep your player base active. In 14, how they do it is in a lot of that content, you'll get some kind of token for completing that task. So even if that chest didn't have what you wanted in it that time, you got a token. You get enough of those tokens, you can just buy the thing you want. So you just got to do the content outright.
Lose the randomness.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Or having something
means,
to combat it. The dust
Yes.
in Hearthstone. Just something that I'm slowly accruing this, again, another currency. This other thing that I can then collect and then spend over time.
And you don't have to, again, this costs no money. You still have to pay to play the game, or you're still playing the game, so you're still participating in the game as a service. And just encourage you to keep playing more, and you will eventually get it one way or the other. It's just RNG only plays the factor into how fast you might get it. And you're like, oh, I got my first try. I'm cool for like a week or two before you because you won't get it till like next week at the earliest.
That's
something.
how long it takes. Is 2 weeks of grinding.
Oh, some of the
You're
stuff is
supposed
on
to
a
fix this.
no.
Damiani.
Some stuff you can only run it once a week. I'm talking about like weekly stuff. There's stuff that you can do daily or more than daily, and you can get it like within a few. Just run it 4 times, you'll get it.
The other thing too about fixing the issue, you fix the issue, you don't do it like that. Like there's some
Correct.
people that it doesn't matter how you structure loot boxes, they just hate it.
All right,
And
well, here we go,
and so we're
Brad.
saying fixing loot boxes, but still keeping them in video games.
Well, yeah, Brad, because here's our issue: is if we take out loot boxes, the game publishers are going to make less money.
Yeah.
They're going to lose the incentive to make these big AAA games, right? We
Yeah.
can't get rid of them
I don't
entirely,
know.
can we?
I don't know if they'll get rid of the incentive. I feel like they always say that stuff.
They're going to stop making games. They tell us.
I've been hearing that for like 15 years. We're not going to make AAA games
Wow,
anymore.
Brad's calling him out right now.
I am.
Do it, Brad. Do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, nice threat, dude. You're still going to make games. People are going to buy your game
Yeah.
anyways.
Seriously, Kyle.
What?
Like when I hear about loot boxes,
Yes.
I think it is a stupid concept that developers could get money through other ways. It's skins and stuff, glamour items.
Glamour items come in loot boxes.
Just sell them directly for people and come up with new ones every few like months to keep replenishing. People will keep buying into that.
Does League do
Here's
that?
the thing. League does do that.
Yes.
You can buy costumes outright.
Yes, come up with new ones.
But here's the thing. You make less money that way.
Definitely.
You factually
yeah.
make less
I mean-
money just allowing people to buy things directly than you do with treasure chests and
in
randomized
the time
items.
frame, but what about in the long run?
In the long run, it's so much more profitable.
Which games are still around that you've mentioned? I don't have all these loot boxes except for that are like many years old. Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
How long's League been around?
Overwatch.
How long's League of Legends been around? How popular is it? It's like, come on.
CS:GO loot boxes. Like you gotta have
Yeah,
loot boxes
CS:GO.
right now.
I mean, that's the worst. Like,
I'll tell
one of the
you
worst.
what I prefer in a loot box.
Okay.
It always,
Tell me what you prefer. I need.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do that.
A loot box I prefer always if it does not impact gameplay. Like I would not be cool with if you're playing a game and you pay money and you get like a better gun that would give you an advantage.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is having this issue right now.
Dude, yeah,
where it
the
affects
pay to
gameplay.
win model I strongly dislike.
Yeah.
I appreciate if you could get the loot boxes with in-game currency also.
Yeah.
Like, not being able to buy a loot box unless you had actual money would be really lame and stupid. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, if it's cosmetics, I'm like, whatever, it's okay. I understand companies want to make money, and it seems to be something that is working right now. That's why everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually there's going to be a blowback, though, and they'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
They're always looking for the next thing, whatever's successful.
Jones, how long do you see loot boxes lasting?
Forever. I think that I just see it evolving into something
Okay.
else.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
like maybe we won't call them boxes in the future. Maybe it'll be more segmented out. Like I don't see it simplifying. I just see it getting broader to where it's like kind of hard to really like discern. Like, oh, this part's game. Like, oh, this is all loot boxes, but it just wasn't necessarily sold that way. I think that might be my biggest recommendation to anybody that's about to release a game that they're like, ooh, we got loot boxes in our game and we know we're gonna do it and we're not gonna back out. Like that's our like pricing model.
Yeah.
Is you in this day and age, and maybe you might think this is silly that you need to do this, but you just need to in this current climate of gaming. You have to make a trailer that explains in exhaustive detail how the entire system works. You have to explain how you get the currency, what you can spend it on. you just got to be upfront about that, because you have something like Overwatch where like there wasn't a huge blowback against loot boxes. When I streamed Overwatch for our community, I was like, oh, should I go open loot boxes? And chat like lost their minds. They were like, that's the best part of Overwatch. It's like, yes, go to those loot boxes. And they were just all freaking out and loving it, you know? So like, it can be exciting. Like you can create excitement around it. Like Brad was saying, if people aren't frustrated of the thing that I'm getting, if it's clearly like Overwatch, it's the type of game multiplayer where it's like, okay, clearly they're gonna have loot boxes, they're gonna follow that model. Whereas like with Assassins, with Battlefront, with other games, it's kind of questioning like, okay, well, how much does this affect the gameplay? And I think a lot of publishers have this idea now where they're like, here's our game, and you get some loot boxes in it. People are like, wait, what was that last part about loot boxes? And like, oh, don't worry, buy our game. And like, that's gonna stop. This attitude of like, let's just slip loot boxes in there and not say anything about it. And that's getting blowback now.
Yeah, I have a real problem if game companies add loot boxes in, but they still charge for other things also. Like, I don't know what Star Wars' model is or anything like that, but if they're going to charge for, like, expansions also, and loot boxes on top of that.
Star Wars in particular has promised all the other stuff will be free.
Yeah. Okay, so, for example, Overwatch, everything else is free, all the DLC. Which,
they're going for that model with Star Wars.
That's good.
I do regret bringing up Assassin's Creed because we don't know for sure whether those will be loot boxes or not.
Yeah, I guess
because there is randomized loot in the game, right?
Then Ubisoft needs to come out and say no.
Yeah,
they need to come out and just say what's going on.
The
longer you wait, the more cloudy you are about that language, the more pissed off your fan base is going to be.
True.
When it's potentially something they could be excited about.
Right.
You know, whereas like the people who don't like loot boxes could just see the video and be like, oh, I don't care. And people that are be like, oh, actually, that sounds kind of cool. Like I want that weird skin or something for. The main character's name I forget, but yeah,
Bayek.
Jones,
I really like that idea because I think that really the way that loot boxes have been treated so far is you'll find out when you buy it. I feel like that's been it for most of these games.
I think not being transparent is
People
always
found
bad.
out about the cards in Battlefront 2 because that was the beta, and they're playing it, and it was like, oh, that was revealed in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right that they
just
should
kind of left it on the table.
Yeah.
To like, figure it out for yourselves. Like you never want your audience to figure something out like that. Like that involves me giving you more money. You know, if it's plot details or character announcements, that's one thing. But if it's like, oh yeah, and give us $10 after for something, I don't know, maybe you'll get possibly it'll work out. Figure it out. $10 at a time. Like, no, I'd like to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
What it's gonna be.
But yeah, I get the frustration. People spend like $60 on a game.
That's enough.
And they don't want to feel ripped off. Like you buy the game and you're like, you want more money from me? Mm-hmm. It's like, is my $60 not good enough?
And it's not.
Yeah, Yeah, it sucks. Like I get that.
Yeah.
It's brutal. So do you think a lot more games should be what? Overwatch was a $40 boxed console
only on
game,
PC.
Right?
Only on PC. I don't know why it was $60 on console. I'm not
60
sure.
was flat on console.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, like I think that would have lessened the blow for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Cheaper game. Yeah.
I've just played so many different permutations of the whole loot box formula. Like ones that I loved the system but never used it. Games where I hated the system but put $10 in because I just needed more stuff.
Wait, what's that game?
Hearthstone. You know, we're like...
You would put money in Hearthstone?
Like, yeah, I definitely dropped some cash on that game.
But Hearthstone to me is a free-to-play game, though.
That's a huge difference, yeah.
And it's packs. Where
it's
I think packs
a
came out
card
before
game.
boxes
You're buying packs,
in this
and
industry,
you could technically earn a lot of cards.
Galaxy of Heroes, which I play every single morning, and I dearly love. Loot boxes are terrible in that game. I've saved up a special currency and been like, all right, here we go, and cashed in a loot box and got nothing I wanted, and been like, all right, screw that.
Yeah.
Like I've never play that game every day, and I've never buy loot. I've made a point never ever to get them because the odds of getting stuff, they screw you really hard in that game with that stuff. But again, it's so far outside of the stuff that I do every day. Like my day to day with Galaxy of Heroes does not like get like there's no screen that pops up. They're like loot boxes, like you know. It's just pretty straightforward as far as like avoiding that stuff.
That's funny.
But I've just seen so many permutations.
You're just
of it.
you're just another player in their ecosystem. You're not spending a lot of money, but
Yeah.
you're at least keeping the game alive for everybody else. That's interesting, Jones.
And so it's interesting to see a game like Injustice. No one doesn't really come up. Nobody really has an issue with the Injustice 2 loot boxes. And then Warner Brothers releases their next game, Shadow of War, and then it's like pretty much the same system.
Yeah.
And everyone's like all
right.
upset about this one. So
The next Mortal Kombat X2, whatever it's called,
guaranteed
will have loot boxes. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
It will.
Yeah.
And do we do them like Injustice 2, and you think no one will complain? I guess you have to presume so.
I just don't want to get mad at a publisher for trying. You know, because like you're saying, like you never know what your audience is gonna like. You never know what they're gonna like, how they're willing to financially support you.
Jones, I want to get mad at them
invested.
for trying.
I mean, maybe for screwing up, but if you like hear right after a game gets announced that they're gonna do it more details later, to just instantly hate them. You know, it's like there was some microtransaction involved in some game you didn't care about, and so like why were you okay with that one, but then I'm talking about principles here. It's not like how it's implemented. Just literally, you said the words loot box, and I'm out. It's like there's got to be a way it can be implemented in that system that you can enjoy.
And there you have it. Easy Allies podcast has fixed loot boxes in 15 minutes. Well done,
Yeah, we
Jones.
fixed it.
We fixed it. I was honestly at the end there. I was like, I was not thinking that we fixed it.
But then Jones said
Jones
that.
came right back
Yeah,
in and he
nailed it.
fixed it. He fixed it. I usually like to start the podcast with a game announcement. We have a game announcement this week. I'm not sure if it's a big deal, and that's kind of a conversation about it. We're talking about God Eater 3 officially announced.
Never got to play any of those.
Yeah. The way this game is announced, the third God Eater game, we saw the trailer, we watched it. No platform, no release date. Just some
I
things
assume
to
it was
look at.
PS4.
You have to.
Yeah,
Why not say that though, Brad?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's PS4 and PC. I'm gonna guess.
Sure.
Seems to be the trend a lot.
But why not say that, Brad?
I don't know.
Why would you keep your platform
I don't
a secret?
know why. Just say it.
That's just
say it.
Just say it, because otherwise you're just gonna disappoint people. You got Switch owners who are like, "That's for me. I'm gonna play that." That's a Vita franchise, right? It's coming to my Switch. It better come to that Switch if you're not gonna announce your platforms.
Yeah, maybe they don't know all the platforms yet.
Then
I mean, I would say
then
announce
it's not
the
time
one
for the trailer
or-
yet.
Yeah, video games are weird, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Announce the ones you know at least.
Damiani, are you excited for this game? Did this announcement do anything to excite you?
I mean, honestly, not exactly, but I'm glad that the series gets to continue on, and it clearly looked like it's going to be on a console or PC at least.
Yeah.
Which I think will be good for the series to make that move, to have the version out of the gates being on console, PC, and I'm a little bit with Brad on that. I get that. Why would they release a trailer, Kyle, if they don't have the platforms figured out? I think maybe they saw some of the backlash, not backlash, but some people always just like hounding developers now and publishers. Is it coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch? Maybe they're still figuring that out. But their timetables, like we know when this game's coming out. We have a marketing plan. We got to kind of stick to it. Maybe it's still being finalized. Maybe Nintendo hasn't something's still going on with Nintendo. It's close. They're like, maybe they have a handshake agreement, but they haven't inked the ink hasn't dried on the paper yet, so they can't officially say it.
Yeah.
So rather than deal with that minor blowback from, oh, it's on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and that's it. Everyone's like, where's Switch version? Where's Switch version? And then a week later, oh, it's on Switch. Everyone will be like, oh, they only reacted to it because we, the consumers, called them out on it. Where they might be proactive. They're like, we're trying to get this done. We'll announce the platforms. We have them all finalized. I don't know. That could be complete BS. That's all I really can come up with.
That's fine though. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't mind that guess. Yeah, I'm a little less upset after that conversation.
I don't know. Maybe they haven't paid a licensing fee for one of the things they're developing with. Because I don't know. There's all these weird reasons I can't put a logo up on a trailer anymore from someone else. Just because something just has been cleared with someone. Who knows?
Yeah, Jones. We talk a lot about the video game industry being secretive as opposed to maybe the movie industry. And we make fun of games for being secret for so long, but then something like this happens, and I'm like, why is it still a secret? Why do you have so many secrets? It's like, I think at some point, we saw that they kind of announced it a year ago. It's a year later now, and they just kind of maybe had to put out something.
Yeah, just like this game still exists.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Do you get that impression from the trailer, Jones? Is this close? Is this game close to you?
Not super close. This definitely didn't seem like a blowout trailer where it's like we teased the details and now it's happening. This seemed kind of like a recut of stuff they could have put in the first trailer with a 3 at the end now instead of just like the next God Heater. Maybe it'll have a subtitle instead of a 3. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then big reveal. Just a 3.
Yeah. Maybe that makes it more.
It was a
special,
number
actually,
trailer, really. Yeah. It kind of seemed like placeholder.
Yeah. Yeah. So there wasn't much to say for me personally about God Eater 3, but yeah, I was.
Yeah, nice to see it's still going though for the
Yeah.
fans.
They might have simply forgot to put the platforms at the end. Someone might have gotten in
It's
trouble.
possible. Yeah.
No, because it would have come out in a PR release.
I know.
Okay. How dare you?
Close.
Finally, another weird little announcement this week: Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
What?
Yeah.
Because it got. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I want to hear what you think this is.
No, it got leaked on Amazon. There's an Amazon listing for it.
Oh, it's official now.
yeah, and
It's
then
official.
Capcom put out the trailer. So
Wait. It's a different version of Street Fighter V in
Yeah,
a
baby.
box? I thought they said they weren't doing that.
Yeah, they said they weren't doing that. So let's go into the details.
yeah.
Money talks,
talk
baby.
about what it
Begin,
is,
baby.
though.
Money talks. So this is a $40 boxed game coming out Ooh, I didn't get the release date down. January 2018. It will include all the DLC characters released so far. The game launched with 16, but then 12 extra have been added since. Actually, the 12th one hasn't been shown yet, but will be out by this January date. It will include an arcade mode, a mode called Extra Battle, a gallery, and newly designed menus. But yeah.
You forgot a detail.
What'd I forget?
It's a free upgrade for people who already bought the game.
Free upgrade?
Oh, wait,
except
what?
for the characters.
Oh, okay.
Is that, did they clarify that? Or is
Yes.
That, okay.
Yeah. So
Sure.
all those extra things, the arcade mode, the gallery mode,
Okay.
the new
Characters are season 2 pass.
Yeah. And so all of those things, absolutely. If you bought that box that says Street Fighter V, you will get an update and you will download all the things to turn it into Arcade Edition. Except for all those characters, you will not get those. So Brad, I do want to know. They did promise. They said you will never have to buy another box other than this one. Is that still true? Were they honest about that?
I mean, I thought it was just, my impression is, I could have been misinterpreting this, that it was just going to be this one thing, this one box, and they would just add stuff over a line. But now they're releasing a different version, because they've always done that with Street Fighter games.
Yes.
I just thought it was just going to be like a service thing kind of going forward. But I don't know. It's weird. It's Capcom. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, business as usual.
Sure.
Capcom.
I mean, Damiani, does anyone have the right to feel cheated by that, or is that like, this is a pretty square deal, basically?
I mean, they are presenting it in the best way that they can. They obviously, Capcom has a history of misfires with DLC and new characters. Let's not forget the whole stuff on disc, and you had to pay to unlock it with a code.
No, let's forget
Yeah.
that, dude.
Oh,
That was so long ago.
I'm
Let's
saying,
forget
no,
it.
I mean, you could say let's forget it, but
Yeah.
people don't forget that.
Yeah.
But clearly, this is much better, like the way they're presenting this. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Street Fighter V has not sold particularly well.
It sold particularly poorly.
Yes,
I would even say.
and it's on the heels of, we don't know the official numbers in North America yet, but let's just say, like, we can reasonably assume that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is selling not very well either.
Even worse.
Even worse. So I feel like this is Capcom. We've got to get more people to buy this game.
Yes.
And so, yes, if you bought the original game, if you bought the season passes, this is a free update for you.
Yeah.
But by repackaging all of that you had to buy separately piecemeal into a new box copy, and it comes out in like January and they can like remarket it, I think they're just going for new people. They're trying to get double. They're trying to not double dip, but they're trying to get people to convert to this. So if you haven't bought all the characters, buy all the characters or something like that. But they're mainly going after new people. They are trying to bring in more people into their player base because the game has just not moved enough copies, and they need to do something about that. I think them saying that at the time was them really hoping like we will never have to do something like this, and this is probably like the least offensive. It isn't like Super Street Fighter V,
Yes.
where we're doing a whole bunch of brand new stuff. And even if you bought the old game, you still have to pay for this.
Which is how they've always done it.
Like imagine
This
if you had paid for the season passes and bought Street Fighter V already. So you have all the
Yeah.
characters promised you, but
Yeah.
they're like, if you bought it, you only have to pay $20 for the arcade edition, whereas new people have to pay $40. So it isn't completely
It
horrible.
sounds better, yeah.
It's a little bit better, but at the same time,
Still,
I think their hand got forced. They have to do this to try and recuperate some of that money.
Yeah. Damiani, I agree with you completely. I don't think there's much reason to be sour about it. Jones, here's what I'm curious about. Do you think something like this will work? 1 year from now, will Street Fighter V be relevant?
Possibly more relevant, but I don't see a splash happening here. You know, I don't see like the
Huge, yeah.
I don't see a redemption happening here for Street Fighter V. That's such a hard thing to come back from.
Damiani is
I don't know enough
wincing.
about the launch to say it was botched, but like a launch that did not go as well as you wanted.
You know
It's
enough
like-
to say it was botched.
Sure.
Yeah. Why are you
I
wincing?
need you to define relevant, though. I mean, I think you're assuming sales. It didn't.
I'm not assuming sales.
Okay, what are you
Because
assuming then? Because it's
The game's not designed to sell. It's not designed to have legs in sales. It's designed to have legs in people downloading costumes and characters and maps or stages. I mean, so when I say relevant, I guess I mean in the hearts and minds of the community. I mean, are people still playing it? Are people still streaming it? Or has it just fallen off?
I mean, it seems to be doing fairly well. Marvel's the one that is the one in trouble from the early indicators,
Yeah.
but Street Fighter 5 seems to have just been like adopted fine. It just
So do you think this is enough to keep it alive, basically?
within the FGC? Yes. Doing these types of updates and stuff, I think Capcom has figured out to the best of their ability how to appeal to the competitive scene with their games. That's why we're not talking about it, but like I have some hope for Marvel in the future. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't sell very well.
Yeah.
If they all they care about is its reputation within the FGC, they definitely can improve it and do stuff down the line. But Street Fighter 5, I think they're doing that. I think the problem is though the business side of it. Esports only brings in so much. The FGC only counts for this much of the big pie. They're missing out on a larger piece of it that they had with Street Fighter 4 and all of its iterations that they need to do something about.
To recoup those. Because they can't do a Supra and they can't do an Ultra. Damiani, I think that's really interesting. And when you think about arcade mode, when you think about them adding a gallery, that's not for the FGC. I think that is to bring in new people. That is because I think it's weird. That was a common complaint is there's no art. It's not weird, actually. Every fighting game has an arcade mode, and for some reason, Street Fighter V launched without one. And so, yeah, when they finally add that, it's almost a make good. It's almost like, okay, here's your arcade mode. We hope you enjoy this. There are cool, interesting modes where it's like fight everybody from Street Fighter 1, from Street Fighter 2, from Street Fighter 3.
That is cool.
Obviously not everybody, excuse me, but characters from. And like weird battles. I don't know what that Beautiful Joe screenshot was about, but someone dressed as Beautiful Joe.
Oh.
I have to assume that is part of the extra battle mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that stuff is added for me. I want to download those things. I want to play through arcade mode. I want to go through extra battle mode. And you're right, because I'm not hardcore. I'm not part of the fighting game community. But so yeah, it's interesting to add in these things to get sales from these people again, hopefully. But yeah, it's weird. It's unusual to do that, I think.
I mean, I think when you talk about like the reputation or something like that,
Yeah,
I think everyone's
relevance.
looking forward to Dragon Ball Fighters. Like
Yes.
people want to know what impact that game is going to have on Capcom Fighters because that game seems to have all the buzz.
And that
right
game
now.
launches a month after this.
Yes.
Yes.
And so that is where people are worried is that like, oh, these games can enjoy some success now. They might be the darlings, but once that game comes out, is that going to change everyone's tune? And then what is Capcom going to do then? You know?
And so I think this is good timing for that. This is the best they could do against Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah.
We don't know if it'll work. That's why I wonder, will it be relevant? Brad, is this game going to be relevant a year from now?
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Okay.
In the FGC at least.
I
don't know the fighting game like community that well, but
yeah.
my impression is that Street Fighter is always the biggest one. Just judging by like what I've seen at Evo, it's always the biggest blowout thing. I mean, Street Fighter has a long, loyal fan base. It's old franchise. People love that stuff. But yeah, I don't know what Dragon Ball is going to be like. I don't know if Dragon Ball has the power to necessarily kick Street Fighter out because Street Fighter is huge.
Yeah.
But Dragon Ball is a huge IP, but I just don't know.
Kyle, you said that arcade mode stuff, the extra stuff they're adding for someone like you is what you're going to get someone like you to buy it.
Well, I already bought it. I'm going to be playing through those things.
Oh, so you're going to buy it. So
Yeah.
my question is, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had a huge focus on story mode.
Yeah.
But it's not selling very well. So what I mean, that's like Marvel story crossover with Capcom. How is that not moving copies yet you're interested in Street Fighter's like more like developments with the characters in that way? Like
I'm a bad person to ask.
You're more attached. Like,
I bought
did
Marvel.
Jones, did you buy Infinite it's a Marvel story?
The
thing is, I did, and I love that story. I love that story.
Yeah, I heard
mode.
Ben like mad at you because you liked it.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, I think it's sweet. I really actually like it. In that kind of like, this is just a fun thing to play through way. But yeah, I'm Damiani. There's 1,000 things that went wrong with Marvel Infinite. Well, not 1,000 really. I think there's 3 or 4 things that went wrong with Marvel Infinite that are clear, that are very apparent, and you could say this. You shouldn't have done that, and they'd say, well, we didn't want to spend that much money. Well, it's like fine. This is what happens to your game if you make those decisions. And they learned a hard lesson. Marvel learned it. Capcom learned it. The makers of Bionic Commando learned it. It's a lot of lessons were learned there. But yeah, I think even like Tekken 7 sold over 2 million copies. A huge success from this year. I wonder if it'll have the legs that Street Fighter V has. I wonder if that game will still be talking about. We'll have that huge rejuvenation.
As history has gone, showed though, not necessarily. Tekken's never as big as Street Fighter. But I know people love Tekken. There's definitely a base out there, but Street Fighter's always kind of at the top.
What if I told you the Tekken series has outsold the Street Fighter series?
That is very surprising to me. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's not entirely surprising. I think the answer to your question, because you're asking about why does one have more longevity than another in the community? Capcom puts more effort into managing that stuff. Like they have their own they have the Capcom Cup.
Yeah.
They have supported tournaments longer than probably most other people have, and they kind of help foster the fighting game community scene. So they're very hands-on in it. And I think it's also because some of the earliest Capcom fighters were super popular. Some of the they were some of the first fighting games period. So I think it has that nostalgia factor. Think of why so many people love Nintendo stuff like me. Why I love it, because it's first exposure, stuff like that, combined with the company being so proactive, throwing so much support behind it. Yes, Bandai Namco throws support behind Tekken.
Huge support behind Tekken.
I don't think they have the amount of money and the amount of infrastructure that's already in place that Capcom has. I think they look at what Capcom's already done, we can't quite do the level of that. But I also think it's part of the community. Community just loves Capcom fighters. It's just how it is for whatever reason. That's why I said everyone loves Dragon Ball right now. It's the darling. It might come out and sell 5 million copies, something insane. It might be popular for a few months, but we see the story time and time again where a fighting game comes out, it sells well. Even Mortal Kombat, it's popular. It doesn't get more than a year or two max in the fighting game community of serious exposure, relevance that Street Fighter and Marvel always seem to get. Street Fighter and Marvel just always dominate. The only one that comes close is Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is the only one who can touch them.
Yeah, we talked about, Injustice 2, right? Yeah. Sold crazy. Demolished. Yeah. Will not be relevant in 2 years. It will disappear in 2 years.
I wonder if it's just a different type of fighting game fan.
Yeah,
that like that kind of game.
And it's just weird. It's different markets. It's different things. We talked a lot about Street Fighter.
I didn't know Tekken outsold Street Fighter. That's crazy.
You know what? You should throw the prove it ticket at me, because that might be nonsense. But would you kindly look it up though? So I'm gonna throw it right back at you.
We can do it later.
Damiani, please look up Lifetime. Oh, do you all hear that? It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of October. Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, currently in development at King Art Games. Join their community and help them bring the alternate reality of 1920 plus to life. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours, and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at www.hoaglaw.com. L. Thanis. Mango. Jojo Dentco, your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you're currently an Easy A patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you'd like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge. Jigarbov Productions. Fun fact, everyone has a different read on the name Jigarbov. Even he intentionally didn't describe the pronunciation just to see how it would turn out. Brandon did a smashing first try. Ben's pronunciation was fun too. Some people say short and sweet, like Jiggerbov. Some people say Jaegerbov, like Jägermeister. Some people even go with Spanish to sound like Higarbov. Usually goes with a short jig, long R like a pirate, short bov. Jigarbov. Also, Princess Bride is better than Shrek. Scorn! An atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information, or check them out on Kickstarter. Episode 1 has been fully funded. Congratulations. Keyless. Since 2002, iKeyless is specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EASY-A at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Jones, that's a very aggressive Batman.
Yeah.
And I like it. This Batman is scary.
Jones, I like your Batman is hateful.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important thing that you harnessed.
Like,
there.
you're Michael Keaton, you're killing crooks this time.
Yeah.
That's
the Ben Affleck.
Hateful.
I'm
Batman.
shotgun you in the face. I don't care.
Yeah, that was good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Actually, personally, I'm a fan of the Robo Batman. I really liked the introduction of him having the modulator voice box. So that it's not actually his voice that you're hearing.
Oh, you mean Ben Affleck?
Yeah, Ben Affleck did that. Telltale did that as well.
Oh, yeah, I like that, too.
I kind of like that's been added now to the Batman mythos. I actually talked about Batman for like 40 minutes today on Cup of Jones, and I did not bring up that one point that I like about him having Robo voice.
That's a cool point, yeah.
And it's fun story-wise to hear him bounce back and forth to be like, yeah, Alfred, what are we going to do? Wait, Gordon's on the line. Hey, Gordon. You know, like, just boop, flip that switch and go to Robo Batman. And then he forgets one time and
Oh, dude.
Gordon's like, well, you sounded really different that one time, Batman. What was that? And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Wait, he slipped up?
No, it'd be funny if he did. You know,
Batman
those
would
moments.
never. That wouldn't be funny
wouldn't,
because it would
yeah.
never happen. I would
Right.
point at that and say, not canon.
Yep.
Damiani, do you have an update for us?
Yeah. So according to VG Sales Wikia,
VG Sales.
they have citations.
Okay,
but
all
this
right.
is the best we got to go on.
All right.
On short notice, they say the Tekken series has sold 45.6 million. Street Fighter sold 38 million.
Fascinating. No one...
I think you doubted yourself.
Yeah,
Kyle.
no one doubted.
That's not how you get to do that.
No one was like,
you don't
"You're
get to
wrong, Kyle."
You don't get to say
Are you
something
doing that to
wrong
yourself?
and then correct yourself.
You don't
Jones,
get to
before it's
you,
right.
You don't get to repurpose the narrative here, Kyle.
Don't you
Sorry.
think that was pretty impressive, Jones? I knew Tekken sold more than Street Fighter.
No, I don't think it's impressive that you knew a factoid about one of your
Kyle.
favorite franchises that you were then clearly scared was incorrect.
Yeah, it was not. No,
and needed someone else to correct
yeah,
for
it wasn't
you.
even that, Kyle. It was literally you threw out a random
Searching
fact
for a word impressive is not.
and you
it.
hoped it was true. You threw it out there because then afterwards you're like, crap, that might not be true. Let's check on it right
It's because
now.
I dialed back to you, then
Yeah.
you got cold feet.
It was because Brad was like, "Wow, I didn't know that."
You go to Damiani of all people for the
Kyle was just
correct
in the
answer,
moment,
like-
so happy his series was being talked about positively.
Oh, come on.
He threw out that.
That was
he
a-
threw out that factoid.
I mean, you
He
were
was like,
right.
I was right. It was intelligent. It makes me a good podcast host. What other podcast host knows that? Every other one's saying like it's Street Fighter, obviously.
You're right.
Oh, please correct. I don't care how far
other
back
guys-
you have to
the
go.
other guys
you
didn't
know
get that
what?
right.
No, the other
Find
guys
that
know.
podcast.
Everyone knows. Everybody, that's an obvious one. It's not time for love and respect.
Ready to suck. Love and respect.
The segment's called Love and Respect. I'm picking a topic that might be pretty fun that has nothing to do with love.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, guy.
Okay.
Probably guys, but I like hey, guy.
yeah.
What is each member's least favorite Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo IP? We all know which Nintendo IP Jones likes the least, but I want to know about the other allies. Love and respect, G-Man Sir. So
Should
let's
we
start with Sony. What is your
least
least favorite Sony
Sony
IP?
All Stars Battle Royale.
Oh, great answer.
Should we do
Yeah.
current ones?
Very bad.
Not even current. No. Of all time.
Man,
Good
I don't
good
remember
idea.
all the-
It just could have, man, you could have
Dude, I
done
don't
more with
remember all
that.
theirs.
Yeah.
Xbox.
Halo.
Blinks.
Don't do that.
Blinks is a Halo.
Yeah,
Blinks is
legit
a.
answer.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only made one of those.
I know
huh?
people. Yeah, I know people have fond memories of that. I can't tell if it's ironic or not.
And is Nintendo Yoshi, or do you have like one that you hate more?
I hate more because I hate Yoshi a lot. Yeah, come back to me. I don't know.
Okay, so Damiani, what is your least favorite Sony IP?
Oof. Feel bad because there's some games I haven't just touched.
Don't feel
and
bad.
I don't want to just like jump on them.
It's not about that.
And I'm trying to think about like recent stuff too. Like I don't know enough about Infamous games because I really didn't touch any of them.
Infamous is Damiani's least favorite Sony
No, I'm not
IP?
saying it's not.
Least
Brutal,
favorite though.
dude.
I'm least informed
Jeez
about
Louise.
that.
Okay, so what's your least favorite Xbox IP?
Is Prototype exclusive to Sony? No.
No, that's Activision.
Yeah, that's Activision. I didn't like that series. Quickly, just name us some Sony stuff. that like
Name
that are
some
shooters.
Sony stuff.
I got Killzone. Killzone. I do not like
Killzone.
Okay.
Do
Why?
not like Killzone.
Why though? We need a why.
It's a first-person shooter, so I
Yeah.
don't like in like that.
we need-
I've tried playing it, and it just bores me to death.
Okay.
It is
Great.
boring to me.
You tried.
This is the
boring.
spice I was looking for,
There you go,
Damiani. Xbox.
Oh wait, hold on. I got Sony one.
Okay, so we should
what
all
you
do
got?
Sony?
Yeah,
Okay.
we got.
Any David Cage game are usually my least favorite.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really like games like that
Do you have
much.
no hope for Detroit Become Human?
No, I'll try it. I just don't get excited about those games.
Yeah,
They just don't really interest me that much.
that's a fair pick.
Yeah.
They don't interest you that much.
Yeah, just the games like that don't really interest me that much.
Okay. I know I should have one. I'm thinking of like, it's too easy, like the Wizard move game.
Oh, that's cheap.
That's
Cop out.
cheap. That's cheap. I feel like there are genuine.
spell-
Let's get a
Something
hot
or-
take, Kyle. Come
yeah,
on.
there are genuine Sony games that I just have no taste for, and again, like Damiani, I'm stuck on it. Ooh, I'm mad. I'm mad that we went right to me after that. Okay. Who's in Sony?
Just say Knack.
Nah, Knack's all right, man. Knack's all right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna set the tone here.
Let me hear it.
Jack and Daxter.
Ooh, hot take.
I love
I
Jack
like
and
it.
Daxter 1.
But you don't
I
like the
love
other
that
ones.
game. And then there's a sharp decline there. I have no patience for those characters. I never want to see them in another video game again. Jack and Daxter 1, absolutely thumbs up. Bye series. Bye franchise. Naughty Dog moved on to better stuff. Okay?
I'll agree with that statement.
Yeah. Let all that go.
Uncharted is just better than, but it's still.
Yeah.
Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah. Let Jack and Daxter be dead. Okay?
I think they did.
All right, Jones, you like that spice?
I do have some spicy.
What was your Xbox one again? Blinks? I
Blinks.
need something better than Blinks. I went out on a limb there with Jack and Daxter.
Fusion Frenzy is probably not going to float your boat either. With
Oh,
that.
yeah, it would, because Fusion Frenzy's fun.
Just
Why
thinking
don't
of
you
all
like
these
that?
OG like Reckless, like all these Xbox original exclusive things. I tend to like them all. I like Gears. I even like Crackdown. I liked Crackdown 1 and 2. I had a lot of fun.
You didn't like 2. There's no way
I
you
did like 2.
2. Really?
You know why I like 2. I always have to remind you of why I like 2.
Zombies.
Because my wife's in it.
Oh, yeah. You
I got to jump around rooftops and throw my wife off the building. So
It's
it's
not
good
right.
times.
Crackdown's mine. I've
Okay,
only
Brad's doing Crackdown.
played Crackdown 2,
Oh, okay.
and I hated it.
That
I'm
would
sorry.
explain that. That would absolutely explain that. Damiani.
Trying to look up Xbox.
Because Xbox
exclusive
doesn't have
games.
that many exclusive franchises, so there's not.
No.
Sony is just like they're out of control with those.
Yeah, there's like Rome.
Yeah.
Rise.
Like a lot of the ones I don't like
Yeah.
were not technically franchises because you just got that one game and it didn't do well enough to guarantee more.
Damiani's got one over here.
I mean, it's not a series. It's and like what happened to this developer when they went over there. Anything by Rare.
Ooh, good
They
one,
went to
Damiani.
Microsoft.
Anything by
Anything.
Rare.
Good
This
one,
is
Damiani.
so
Grabbed by the
spicy.
Ghoulies,
You're going to win this game by
Banjo,
being the most
Kazooie,
spicy.
Nuts and bolts. I think the only thing they did, because I thought it was actually good for
Throw it
for-
in the
for
mic.
kids,
Throw this
was
in the mic.
The
Throw the
best
spice
thing I
in the
think they
mic.
did for a game was the Connect game Connectables. That was, I think, or was it Viva Pinata? Or,
They made Viva Pinata.
didn't
I don't
worked
think
on
they made
Connectables?
Connectimals.
I have to
And you think
gotta check
Connectimals is a
myself.
good game? They absolutely made Viva Pinata, if that's what you're talking about.
Viva Pinata I didn't like.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was listening on more that I didn't like from them.
Yeah.
Connectables.
Did
We-
you
we
like
got a-
Cameo?
No. That had a really, really long development hell thing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for Cameo.
Sea of Thieves. Are you excited about Sea of Thieves?
Oh yeah, it was not Connectables was not Rare. I
Yeah.
apologize. So they didn't make the good one I thought
Kind of
so.
intelligent.
They made like a Connect Adventures game though, didn't they? They did something.
They did. They made the Connect Sports
Okay.
games. The Connect Sports games.
That's
are
it.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
And I think Connect Adventures as well.
That's
yeah, Brad.
that's the correct answer.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So anything by Rare is a very spicy good answer.
That's
Any of their
really fun. That's
any of
funny.
their serious attempts at games that were from their previous IPs just were disasters.
Yeah, we're doing Xbox IP. I don't like Gears of War. I really don't. I got no taste
I
for
could
it.
totally see that you don't like that.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I think you know. I think
Yeah.
anyone who knows what I like knows that there's just no reason
Yeah,
for me
that's
to like
not
Gears of
happening
War.
for Kyle.
Yeah, it's just not happening. Jones, Nintendo.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Oh, why though?
I have no interest never even close to having interest of playing that. Never, ever, ever. And kind of like Battle Royale. Like, that was a great opportunity to actually make that kind of look fun and make a big deal about those franchises coming together. And it just doesn't feel like a big deal.
Okay. But, I mean, it's still the Olympics.
Those games are made by Sega, technically. They're published by Nintendo.
Right.
Sega does the development.
All right, we're not allowing it. We need to get Nintendo
not
IP.
allowing it.
Yeah.
It's
Give us a Nintendo
it's a
IP.
collaboration. I think it's
No, but it's not that
okay.
spicy. No one's hurt. Give me something that's gonna hurt feelings right now.
I don't have anything that's gonna hurt. I'm sorry. I'll pick a hurt one if you come back to me.
No,
for
give
Nintendo.
us Yoshi. Tell us why you hate Yoshi so much.
I just don't like the announcement of that one video game.
Just one.
We broke them.
See, it's just one.
It's over.
It was just one.
Fun's over.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you like Yarn Yoshi.
I do. I
like
played,
Yarn Yoshi?
I love Yarn Yoshi. I played Yarn Yoshi with Troop. We
way.
co-opted it. Yeah, we had a grand old time. I've said this a billion times.
No.
Every time Yoshi
I've
comes
never
up,
heard it.
Nope,
I
I've
said
never heard
I
this
said
before.
I played the one on Wii U with the man who both loved it because we loved Kirby's Epic Yarns.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, more yarn stuff.
You like Yoshi's Island on 64? What's that one called?
There's
Yoshi Story.
Yoshi's Story. You like Yoshi's Story?
Did not play any of the Yoshi games.
Oh, okay.
The one on our Super Nintendo stream was the first time I played Yoshi's Island. So
Oh, okay.
I love
I just
Yoshi
get
Story.
missed out.
All right.
Really short.
Jones loves Yoshi. He loves it.
I do.
Loves the whole IP. Damiani, what is the one Nintendo IP you despise?
I really do not like Kirby.
Really do not.
I have
like.
never liked a Kirby game I've played.
We streamed one together.
He didn't
like
like
it.
it.
No, I remember it now. We were streaming. What's the Nintendo Challenge game?
The whatever
NES Challenge, I think is what it's called.
Dreamland, Kirby
Yeah, yeah.
Dreamland or whatever.
You would hand the controller to me for only the Kirby sections,
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
take it back immediately afterward. Damiani made me do all the
I
Kirby
do not
stuff.
like I don't like the way Kirby handles in any game. I think platform mechanics of Kirby is weird to me. It is the strangest thing.
He's
the
a puff.
The only game that Kirby handles right to me, oddly, is in Smash Brothers. So the only game I can tolerate Kirby is in Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And the dedicated games for Kirby, I just play for like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, I'm done. Putting that controller down. Next, I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, Damiani, this is what we
They
wanted.
do not go over well with me.
Okay, Brad.
I got two. I'll give you one and the hot take one.
Nice.
Steel Diver.
Sure. Yeah.
it's like, this
that's
sucks.
fair. Yep, that's fair.
Out of the biggest like Nintendo IPs I can think of is also Kirby. I like Kirby, but I like him the least. I don't like when a Kirby game gets announced. Usually, I don't get hyped. I'm not like, yeah, Kirby.
I love Kirby.
I know we know you love Kirby.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There is an innate joy to sucking in an enemy and using that enemy's power.
I just said it's my least favorite out of like the big ones. You think I'm gonna give up Zelda or Mario or Metroid to that Pink Puff? In your dreams, dude.
What about like the me games? What about me games?
I was giving you a hot take. You wanted the hot take.
Oh,
I don't even count those as like Nintendo franchises. I'm talking the big boys.
Wii Music.
I mean,
Too
obviously,
Yeah,
obviously
I
those are
understand.
all bad,
I
Kyle.
asked for the spice and you gave me the
Gave me the
spice.
spice and it was too much spice for you.
That was too much spice.
Isn't Wii Sports technically a Mii game? That's like the only
Yeah.
good one, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so that's amazing. Like I immediately thought about that, but I was like, oh, those all kind of tie back to Wii Sports, which is amazing.
And I like Wii Sports.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
I
even
Resort.
Nintendo franchises that really bug me or I just have no interest in. There's
Uh-huh.
always just at least one game. They're like, oh, it's good. So it's like
The IP.
It's hard to just
You're right. It's
entirely
hard to
harp
pin it on a
something.
Nintendo
Like,
IP.
the only one I
that
could
you
think of was like the Monopoly game, Fortune Street. Yeah, screw that. I have no, don't need that.
That is not a Nintendo
Animal
IP as
Crossing
well. So yeah.
was bad. The one we played. The version.
Oh, okay,
the
right. But
Amiibo
Animal Crossing
Festival.
IP
Oh no, I love
rules.
Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I love Kirby Superstar. I love that game. I like Kirby 64, and I like Kirby's Dream Land 1 and 2 on Game Boy, but I just don't get hyped.
Okay.
Like Cannabis Curse, couldn't care less.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Kirby was involved in one of my favorite trailer jokes of all time.
Trailer jokes.
That I just didn't even pick up the first couple times I watched the trailer.
like
But
a-
it was Smash Brothers on Wii. So it was the update from the GameCube character models to the Wii character models. And you had every single character run up and they all like, look at me, I look so good. And then like Link runs up and then like Kirby runs up and looks exactly the same. Like it like washes over him and it's such a quick joke. He's just kind of like, what? And then it like jumps
The
on
trailer's
somebody
moving
else.
on. Yeah.
And I didn't get it. It was like the fifth time I watched that trailer. I'm like, oh, that's a joke.
Yeah.
And there's even, I think there's one later too. I think there was one later trailer where they had like an action shot of all of them like kicking ass. And Kirby's just like lying in the grass like, I love that. Like that's Kirby's action shot. Like having Kirby lying in the grass, rolling back and forth is the equivalent of like Link, like pulling the sword out. You know, like that's funny to me.
Damiani and Brad hate the IP.
Yeah.
I feel like
Can we turn the Yoshi conversation back around to Damiani hating
Yeah.
Kirby? Can we make the shift? Well, I mean,
It's
it's up
on
to the community
Damiani
now.
No, that's
but I'm
just
just
a bit.
asking. Can
that's just a bit.
let's evolve the narrative a little bit.
I have another one that's pretty spicy. I do not care for the F-Zero IP.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, recently I have no connection to it, but man,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Super Nintendo, I played
That
so
Super
much.
Nintendo one's my least favorite one, actually.
Wait, you played it a lot on Super Nintendo?
That was one of my top
Yeah,
Super
Jones
Nintendo
loved it.
games, man. I beat myself up trying to get better at that game.
You know what? I'm lying to myself. I love that IP. I don't care for the games. Like I just don't care for those games in particular. But the IP is so interesting.
idea of it.
The characters and their cars.
There's good things there.
About any Nintendo
I know,
IP.
like there's good things in Kirby.
What is the bad Nintendo IP? I'm truly stuck on.
Steel
this.
Diver.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's like one off.
They
It's not-
learned.
there's-
They learned their
we got
lesson.
we got a few Steel Diver games.
I imagine they're one offs.
Dylan's Rolling Western.
Oh, 'cause
What
they
the
got a
hell is
sequel in
that?
Japan.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a Nintendo IP
There's
that I
one
really
that's
don't like.
only one of their entries came out in the West. Glory of Heracles. It's a RPG.
What is that?
Oh
It's an
yeah.
RPG series.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of
remember
them
that.
came out in Japan.
And it's a Nintendo IP?
Only came out on DS. Give
Uh-huh.
it a chance. It sold terribly. It's basically Hercules, but the other version, like there's like the Roman and
Yeah,
the
I'd love to play an RPG as Hercules.
Greek.
Thank you. But yeah, it's Glory of Hercules, and it's like
Wow, that was really intelligent of you, Brad.
thank you.
Got you.
Brad, the scholar over here, making
did
the
good in
podcast
history
go
class.
smoothly.
Hello, allies. I have recently started work on my dissertation for a master's in game development. Speaking of intelligence, yeah. Currently-
way smarter.
Currently entitled The Mechanical and Psychological Impact of Mario Kart's Blue Shell. Yeah. My current working theory is that nobody actually likes the blue shell. If you're in first place, you spend the majority of the race fearing its inevitable appearance. And if you are trailing behind, it's an item that is of little to no benefit for you personally should you receive it. Its sole purpose is to aid those trailing slightly behind first, keeping the race relatively tight and unpredictable, and I would argue it is also bad at that. In aid of my research, I'd like to hear the panel's thoughts on other items they believe exist in games only to keep things balanced and don't actually reward the player. Other examples that came to mind are the death streaks in Call of Duty, the chance time in Mario Party, but none are quite as blatant as the blue shell. I'd be sure to keep you updated when my findings are ready to present. Love and respect, Alex McMillan from Northern Ireland.
Something came to mind. Not an item. I know they're looking for like items or mechanics that specifically don't benefit you and don't really whatever. The psychological aspect of you're like in last, or you have no chance of winning with the blue shell.
Yeah.
So you're firing it because your goal is you're gonna get some satisfaction knowing that you are potentially denying someone first place.
That's the thing. I think that is very
Because
rewarding.
definitely.
you're griefing them.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this up, because this came up a lot in 14 PvP, there'll be points where it's 3 teams. 3 teams competing to hit a certain goal, certain amount of points. Get enough points, that team wins.
Final Fantasy 14 PvP.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Because Jones had to say it like 30,000 times in the review because I was a bad writer in that one. There'll be points where
Damiani,
you
you
know.
live in this world where you just say 14 and people know exactly what you're
I
talking
mean,
about.
if
You gotta consider
the
our
camera
entire
wasn't
audience.
rolling, I wouldn't have said
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
but
If you're so far behind, and this applies
Yeah.
to like any other competitive mode, you're so far behind, you just like, oh, we're not going to win. Let's screw over the other team. Let's screw over the team currently in first place. Let's go Zerg them and help the other team beat them, essentially. And that's what you do. You go and Zerg them, you screw them over, you prevent them from accomplishing their stuff, and then the other team wins, and you feel kind of good about yourself. Like, oh, we're going to lose, but like we still accomplished some objective.
Yes.
Like we get some gratification from that. That's what I feel like that is what the blue shell so perfectly encapsulates, is that feeling of I still have some control over the outcome of this match, despite me having like no chance of tasting that glorious victory.
Right.
I'm gonna taste some kind of satisfaction though. It's knowing that I knocked you out of first place.
Yeah, exactly. Damiani, I like what you touched there. The theory kind of presumes that all we care about is ourselves and our own placement. That's wrong.
Sure.
People love hurting other people, and we love hurting the person who's in first place.
Yeah, if I'm playing Mario Kart with either you or you, I'm just not going to win ever. It's just not going to happen. I'm gonna, like the top 4 is, if I broke, I would consider that as equaling first place against playing against most other people. So yeah, my perspective on what I'm actually trying to get out of this.
Do you like hitting us with blue shells?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Hearing Damiani get frustrated is playing Mario Kart. Yeah,
Hit detection.
That's a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling.
So can you think of equal elements like that in games that kind of allow you to hurt someone else, even though you're not?
Two came to mind. One, I really like Tekken's. Like, there's a lot of things that pop up in Tekken 7 when you're low on health. Like,
Yes.
there's like a ability you can't use until you're low on health.
Right.
And so the last couple minutes of a match are always really tense. I remember Ben like bringing up in that review, and it was cool playing the game and being like, Ben's right. Like that does add a lot to it. And I haven't played a lot of other fighting games that do that where. It's not only a question of like, oh, he got that thing, here it comes. Like, no, when is he gonna do it? When's the best time to do it?
Yeah.
Should I use this at all, or should I just like try to win the hard way?
And it's fun for us casuals. It was fun for us to like unleash our supers that we earned just from getting hit a lot. But it kind of is, Jones. If you die, but you still got your super off, you're still like, I got my super on you, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You didn't get the perfect. Sorry, bro. Like, it still feels good in a way.
And second, really quick, what's
Yeah.
the rules around the last ditch effort to get to the ship in Titanfall? That like when you lost the match, but now we just got to go and get out of here. If I kill everybody before they get to the ship, does that do anything, or is that just kind of like I forget the rules there?
I can't remember either. Yeah.
If it's how important that is to actually get to the ship, or if it's just one of those like I made it, yeah, kind of things. Like I maybe got some more points or more XP or something.
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
But I kind of like it's kind of like the opposite of a blue shell. It's just kind of like, yeah, they won, but we could stick it to them at the end. Or I guess it kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2 does a really great thing of that. Is when you win the round, you can attack the other team, but they can't attack you. So
Whoa.
you just get a bunch of free kills and stuff like that.
That's the opposite. That's just the winner.
I know. I was just
more.
going with him on Titanfall,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
guy's running away.
Right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The other Mario Kart one, 64. When you're out with the balloon battle, you turn into the bomb. And you get to go take someone out.
Yes.
Yes. There's
That's a great
right
example.
there. There
Yes.
you go. It's like
You're out. You will not win, but you get to make everyone miserable just
Yes.
running into them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great example.
Didn't Bomberman have something? Yeah, the Bomberman on Switch had something like that, where when we lost, we were just on the periphery chucking
Yeah.
stuff in.
But actually, that had a chance. If you kill someone who's alive, you swap
jump
out.
back in, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
So
was fun.
is it getting satisfaction with something after you're dead usually, or
After
no
you've
matter
accepted
what?
loss.
You're not gonna win.
So there's a ability or character in Overwatch, Junkrat. When he dies, he drops bombs that could potentially kill people. I mean, you're dead,
Yeah.
but if you can kill someone, it's satisfying.
Absolutely. I like that. I like it. I would like to see more of that. Like a fighting game that has like a stupid taunt where like I'm going to die, but like I got my taunt on.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something like that. I'd
Yeah.
like to see more of that.
it's not 14 this time. WoW PvP,
Cool.
because I was so low level and stuff. Whenever I'd get ganked by someone, they would just be like, someone I was playing with, like usually Marco or Miguel, would be like, "Yo, mark them for us, like where are you and stuff." So you're dead there. You don't have to like teleport away. You can stay there. You just you mark them and stuff. You tell them where they are.
That was
It's
that
not
was just
helping you, but
incidental, right? You're just rotating a camera around your dead
yeah,
body.
you can just tell them what direction they're going in. So
Yeah.
it's like you can call in your reinforcement stuff. Like you lost, but someone else is gonna avenge you. Basically, it's kind of cool. I like that element.
Yeah. So Alex, I think when you're writing that paper, do not underestimate the joy of hurting somebody who's winning. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely a benefit to the blue shell. Yeah, maybe commenters throw Alex some more your own opinions too. Like that's we're doing research right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Research for a paper, Jones. I'm helping with a dissertation.
I know that our community is doing a really good job helping out on that one.
Yeah, I already took that.
We got a smart community. If I never say that, if I never really address that specifically, it deserves to be said.
I want to do. Let's do a game.
Okay.
There's, I've seen this game a few times. I'd like to do it.
It's a full pager.
It's a full pager. It won't, Jones. I know we're over time. This won't take too long.
It's fine.
Okay. Brad's feeling it. Okay, we're doing it. Hi, allies. Here's a game for you. At E3, Project Octopath Traveler working title was announced, but what its final name will still be a mystery, and still is. We downloaded a demo that says working title on it, which is crazy. I don't know how many times that's happened.
I hope that's just the title of the game.
Yeah. I mean,
Project
like,
Octopath Traveler working title.
Please. I wouldn't mind. PT is another example. Anyway, here are some working titles for already released games. Let's see if you can figure out the final game titles from these working titles. A correct shout before the answers are presented is 2 points. After is 1 point. Well, I'm gonna keep track. Love and respect, Atomic Billy, aka William Hanson. Okay, so Jones, Damiani, Brad. Attack of the Attackers. Any takers on that? Okay, no.
Attack on Titan?
No.
Is it A, Doom, B, Wolfenstein 3D, or C, Quake?
Attack the Attackers.
I vote
Doom?
Quake.
And Damiani, your guess?
What'd you say? You said Doom.
I say Quake.
I'll go with Wolfenstein.
It is Doom. That's a point
Yes!
for Brad.
Demons invade, and you attack them back.
Yeah, Attack the Attackers.
I mean,
Cool.
makes sense.
Number 2, Monkey Nuts.
Okay.
No takers. All right. A,
No.
Ape Escape. B, Ratchet and Clank. C, Halo Combat Evolved.
Monkey nuts.
Yeah, this was a jokey one. Oh god, I remember this. I want to say Ratchet and Clank. I think it might be Halo.
Monkey nuts.
I'll say Ratchet and Clank.
I need more.
Going with the Halo answer.
I'll go with Ape Escape.
It is Halo. That's a point for Damiani. Jones,
I don't get it.
when you said, oh, like I knew you would get Halo from that, and I'm surprised you didn't commit to it.
I thought it was Naughty Dog though. Before you even said any games,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like, I
like,
think Naughty
some
Dog
Naughty
did that.
Dog
That seems
game,
like
yeah.
a Naughty Dog thing to do.
Yeah.
And then I know they didn't make Ratchet, but I was like, maybe that's where I'm confusing them with Insomniac.
It was a total Bungie thing to do.
It's a very bad
Okay.
thing.
Bungie. So Bungie of them.
Fighting Fantasy. Who? Jones?
Dissidia?
Just a weird title came to my head, but I don't know why.
Damiani?
What, say it again.
Fighting Fantasy.
Soul Calibur is what came to mind.
Crap, I'm trying to remember what they wanted to call Final Fantasy first, and they couldn't call it that because there's a conflict. Because the myth is
Trust your instincts, Damiani.
Final Fantasy.
Yes, it's Final Fantasy.
Oh.
It
because
is.
they had a conflict in Europe, they couldn't call it that there, so they had to change it. And the myth was it was called Final Fantasy because there was only going to be one game.
That's
if
what
they had
I
enough
always
money.
believed. That was just a
But
dumb myth.
no, yeah,
That's what- Retro, baby.
yeah, Sakaguchi.
Call me a liar.
Sakaguchi came out and said, like, actually, no, that's not the truth. We ran into litigation issues, and we had to change the name.
Huh.
But for whatever reason, this myth perpetuated that it was going to be, we were running out of money and stuff, and this was going to be the last game we were going to make, so we called it Final Fantasy.
That's so
That's not
romantic. That's
true.
what I always thought was true.
That's not
And
true.
Jones, that's what you say in the retrospective?
That's what I say. Yeah, there's a lot. I also, when I talk about Kingdom Hearts, I talk about them getting in the elevator, and that's been debunked.
The Fighting Fantasy thing wasn't known except people who were involved in the project. That wasn't public knowledge till he did that interview
Okay.
recently.
Very
in the last
interesting.
2 or 3
Make a
years.
retro without Damiani at your own risk, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. Good game, Atomic Billy.
Yeah,
I'm
it's just a
learning.
lesson that like new information will always come out. Like the
Right.
stories you've been told might not always be true because someone's like, oh, actually, that person misheard it. This is how it really went down.
Yeah.
Damiani, don't sell yourself short, though. You're also very intelligent when it comes to those type of little like factoids.
Yeah,
about
you
games.
are,
Number
dude.
four.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know.
Number 4, Intruder. Number 4 is Intruder.
Intruder.
Oh,
Intruder.
that's
Thief.
Damiani has this. Look at
Say
this.
the names. I need to hear the
Thief
names.
is my bet.
Okay, so he doesn't have it. Here we go. A. Night Trap. B. Metal Gear. C. Siphon Filter.
Intruder.
I'll say Siphon Filter then.
Jones, I loved how you stared at Damiani. You're like, what's the read?
I'll say Metal Gear.
Damiani?
I think it might have been. I'm trying to remember. So it wasn't originally called Metal Gear when they were working on it. It only became that after Kojima.
Damiani, trust your instincts.
yeah.
It's Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I thought it was called Interloper, not Intruder.
Oh, okay. No, just trust your instincts, man. Again.
Again.
Because like that was
Search your
Metal Gear was the
feelings.
only one on that list where it's like Damiani would have gone, oh,
Yeah.
you don't know a thing about Night Trap, you don't know a thing about Siphon Filter, but you got Metal Gear lore.
Because some of the names of these project things, like they're internal jokes sometimes. They have nothing to
sure.
do with what the game's about.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah.
the name actually isn't a hint to the game's content.
Working titles. Yeah, exactly. Nightmare in Derceto.
What?
Nightmare in Derceto.
No idea.
Derceto. Derceto.
Nightmare Creatures.
Falsetto.
A. Silent Hill. B. Alone in the Dark. C. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem.
Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alone in the Dark.
Damiani, you got a guess?
What is the name one more time of the working title?
Silent. Oh, Nightmare in Derceto. Derceto?
Rosito Valley.
Need a guess, Damiani.
Fine, I'll go to Eternal Darkness. I'll do something different.
It's Alone in the Dark. That's a point for Jones, a point for Brad.
We did it. I never played them.
Oh, you ready for an easy one? Mr. Needle Mouse.
What?
Mr. Needle Mouse.
Mr. Needle Mouse. Okay.
Mr. Needle Mouse.
A. Moss. B.
Wait, what was?
Mr. Nuts. C. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Needle Mouse. I'm gonna say Sonic.
Moss.
Damiani?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog!
Oh.
Everyone knows that!
That's about a mouse named Needle, so I just thought.
Everyone knows Mr. Needle Mouse.
I don't know that.
Okay. That's one for Damiani, one for Brad. I think even like their engine was the Needle Mouse engine. I just see it a lot when I'm loading up the Sonic Unleashed demo. Yeah. Okay, so Project 7, Project Kid.
Project Kid.
Project Kid.
Bully.
Jones has something for this.
No, that definitely rings a bell. No idea.
Okay.
But yeah, I've heard
Let's
that before.
see if it rings a bell after the options. A. Chrono Cross. B. Kid Icarus. C. Splatoon.
I'll vote
Project
Splatoon.
Kid. I'm just gonna say Chrono Cross because I think there's a character named Kid in it.
Damiani.
There is, but I don't know if that's why it's
Yeah,
called
I
that.
don't know.
I don't know because I didn't follow any of these very close. I'll go Splatoon as well. That's wrong.
It is Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
Well done, Brad. I like you some logic on that.
Project Kid.
Just so everyone knows,
Kid's the girl in it.
Damiani and Brad are now tied. Jones, you have 1 point. They
fine.
have 5. You can catch up.
I didn't follow any of those games. Though.
Oh, this is another really easy one. Oh, I'm handing this away. Adventure title.
Adventure title.
Adventure title.
Uncharted.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go.
Was not Uncharted.
The options. It's not Uncharted. A. The Legend of Zelda. B. Broken Sword. C. Portal.
Adventure.
The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda, I guess.
Damiani, you got a guess?
We're gonna have to go back and talk about this.
God,
This is why I like these games.
So this must have been a recent report. This must have been from a recent thing they did. I just didn't follow.
Go ahead and say Legend of
Yeah,
Zelda
Legend of
so I can give a
Zelda.
point to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we have to talk about this?
Dami's not buying it.
Why are you not buying it?
Where's your sources?
Yeah, I need like. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So Damiani's going to look that up while we
Prove it
continue the
to-
game.
This was
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
one of their
Atomic
wanna-
Billy. Damiani's.
Billy.
It's probably one of those wanna asks I didn't read for once.
I think it was
Probably came out
like
in Breath of the Wild.
I think they said like initially this is a work. It was like the working title was adventure title. I think you're right. I think it was a Breath of the Wild speech from not too long ago where they actually like showed the prototypes and all that. Okay. Anyway, in the meantime,
Keep going.
Virus.
Dr. Mario.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say Resident Evil.
Dr. Mario. What
It's
a-
Dr. Mario.
done. What a pull.
He gets 2 now.
That is 2. Oh, I forgot
Wha-
they're 2 if you guess it off
Yeah.
of that. Okay. So I owe Damiani another point for another one he called out, which was. Wait, did we give him Final Fantasy? I said trust your instincts. Yeah, we'll give that one to him.
I think you said the
Alright.
titles though before that.
No, I said Fighting Fantasy, and he's like final,
Oh,
and then he
okay.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Check
Then
the sources.
I think we're all caught up after that. Okay.
Well, can you imagine if they didn't have those? I guess we wouldn't notice or think anything of it, but if they hadn't had that legal issue, it'd be Fighting Fantasy 14.
Yeah, Fighting Fantasy is not a bad name. It's not like it's worse than Final Fantasy.
But Final Fantasy fit it because it's one of the rare RPGs that tells a good, brand new story every single time. Like, out of the 500 games they've released, only a couple have really like been a direct continuation.
Whereas Fighting Fantasy seems more descriptive, like it's a fighting fantasy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It would have actually set
This
this franchise.
fantasy fights you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we got to Cydia, it'd be like, finally.
Yeah, that's what I
fighting
thought.
game
I
in
thought it
this
was the
universe.
city.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Monsters.
Monsters?
Pokemon.
Monsters.
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
No.
Oh.
Altered Beast, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, or Demon Souls.
Altered Beasts.
I need more guesses.
I'll
the
go with
first one?
Altered Beasts. Yeah.
The first one was Altered Beast.
It's the one, not Demon Souls. The other
Zombies
one.
Ate My Neighbors.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors was.
That's a good one though. Actually, that could be it. Shoot, I'll stick with Altered Beasts though.
Damiani, pick one, dude.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
It is Zombies Ate My
Yeah.
Neighbors.
Ah!
Damiani. Weird, right? That would be the working title?
Throw
It is
Demon
weird
Souls
considering
in
it's
here at me.
it's like a parody of that film genre, so it's weird
Yeah,
that it would have
you know
such
what?
a straightforward title going
Well, it's
in.
it's the working title, yeah. So it's like we want to make and they got that
Monsters,
giant and
yeah.
the giant baby and the mummies. Actually,
The giant
monsters.
baby.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
He wears the 3D glasses. Ooh, we actually talked about this one. Let's see if Jones pays attention throughout the podcast.
Okay.
Rainy Woods.
Woods. Alan Wake?
No.
Silent Hill?
No. Ben knew this. Okay, here we go. Risen, Twin Peaks the game, or Deadly Premonition?
Deadly Premonition.
Deadly Premonition. Not Twin Peaks the game.
Is that right?
Damiani, you got a guess?
Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, it's a point for everybody.
They're not going to have a temp title
Yeah, I
for
was
a
like-
franchise pair.
Yeah, do you remember we were talking about that cat game? I forget the name of it. Oh, The Good Life. We're talking about The Good Life, and the town was called Rainy Woods. And Ben goes, wasn't that the working title for Deadly Premonition? I'm like, Ben, come on!
Wow.
Come on!
He knows.
Yeah. Finally, the last one.
Still looking up the Zelda thing. I don't see it anywhere.
X. Is that Mega Man X, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, or Xenoblade Chronicles X?
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I'll go Xenoblade also.
Sure.
It's that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Xenoblade Chronicles X. Yeah. Actually, and I think they like announced it as X, right? Like I think when it was
They only
first
showed a
announced,
symbol,
Yeah,
but-
yeah. I think that was that. Damiani, you've won the game, but you're still looking up adventure title. Are you not convinced yet?
Well, because they were being developed. I mean, there's two things about it. I mean, it's called the Hyrule Fantasy, and they were actually debating about what to call the game when it was in development. And Hyrule Fantasy was what they were going to call it, but then they're like, we should call it The Legend of Zelda instead. The Hyrule Fantasy is like not gonna, like there's a whole. It was when the NES Classic came out. There was a development interview about the Hyrule Fantasy. They talked about like the origin of that name versus The Legend of Zelda, why they went with that over that. They also talked about like the whole thing with Bolero that was going to be the original theme for Zelda. They found out the copyright was going to expire not in time for it to be allowed to be used for commercial use. So Kondo had to go and compose like a cram session to make the Legend of Zelda theme we all knew.
Wait, what's Bolero?
It's a famous piece by Maurice Ravel.
Which is a strange connection to Zelda. I'm trying to imagine
Well,
that.
they were like,
Can you sing it, Jones?
Isn't Bolero the one that is really? It's like bum 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 bum, and it like takes a long time to build up, and then like it's super exciting the last like 30 seconds, but like the beginning is like very slow.
That's pretty interesting. Damiani, I think you have to look even further back when it was almost going to star Mario. Like I think adventure title.
I just don't think that was technically Zelda's start.
Okay.
I think there was like a concept or whatever, but like once they began on like what was Zelda, it was never called that. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Atomic Billy, Damiani doesn't buy it.
I think it's a technicality.
I think this is a correction I'm going to have to read next week, and you're
Sure.
not going to be around to hear it.
good.
I'll be around to hear
That's how he
it.
likes it.
I'll let you know.
Brad will be here next week.
I'll-
Thank you, Brad. It is now time for bets. Next week's bet is about The Evil Within 2, which releases on Friday, the 13th. What will the trophy percentage be for Caffeine Addict? Used every coffee maker at least once. Jones.
40%.
Ooh.
I'm going big.
Michael Damiani.
2.9%.
2.9%.
5.
Brad went 5%. Why do you write it down but then not show the camera?
All right.
All right.
It's for you. Hey,
Five.
this is a 5.
16% is my bet, and now we shall reveal Don's bet.
Did Don go high?
The McDonald's
Go high, Don?
Arches.
12%.
Oh.
So Jones,
So my bet doesn't even exist.
what do you mean? You have
I mean, it's
40%.
possible.
Right, but you went high as well. So
No, I went 16%.
which is the highest? Next
Oh,
to
you're
me?
right. It'll be like if
Yeah,
it's
if it's
high,
19
it's
or
between
higher,
you.
you already won.
So there are different coffee makers in the game?
Coffee makers is how you replenish your health.
Yeah.
And so in the demo that I played, it was available at the at your safe spot where you go
but
back
potentially
to.
they're not inside the safe spot, I guess.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
They might. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's
and-
the tricky hidden one that's in some back alley somewhere, or if
Comes on
they're
Friday,
all in the
too.
safe spaces.
You only
or-
get Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
You only get that many days. 3 days.
What if there's a hidden coffee maker?
It hits, yeah, it hits me as something that like you could conceivably go to a safe spot and like not need health replenished at that point, and then move on from there.
Yeah.
And so I could see you not skipping it because you didn't see it, but not skipping it because you just didn't need it at that point.
Sure.
Right,
Whereas
like
like if
who-
you see that trophy, like oh sure, I'll take a sip every time I get to an area.
Yeah.
Now I will.
Or if just there's
now
that
I will.
one
Thanks for the tip.
Brad's going to do it.
Get
Yeah.
that trophy.
sneaky
Get that
coffee.
trophy. Last week's bet was about Middle Earth Shadow of War. Jones is taking a trip over to Amazon.com. Here was our bet last week. What number will we get if we add the total minutes of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy and divide that by Shadow of War's top rank on Amazon's best sellers list? That was a Don bet.
Okay. there we go.
Jones bet 100, Ian bet 894, Ben bet 620, I bet 88, and Don bet 86. Don and I were extremely close on this one. So, the total runtime of all of the Lord of the Rings movies and Hobbit
For
movies.
1,000 minutes.
Damiani, well done. It's 1,031 minutes.
Dude, so crazy.
That was some good.
Calculator
brain
ready?
math. Do I have a calculator ready? I'll pull one up.
Can we do it? Then?
Yeah. I got that.
Okay.
Jones, I actually had some questions about the top 10 and all that. So where does it fall?
Number 9.
It is number 9 right
The
now.
PlayStation 4 version of Shadow of War is number 9 on the Amazon bestseller
So
list.
what comes before it is my follow-up
PlayStation
question.
Plus?
The only game is Odyssey.
So Super Mario Odyssey is number 1.
The Switch is number 5.
Switch is number 5, and everything else is PSN cards.
2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8 are all PSN cards.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So 10,031 divided by the number 9 equals 114, which is 14 off of Jones's. I think that's it. Jones, I think you got it. Yep. Jones wins that bet
Jones wins.
with his bet of 100. No, well done, Jones.
And you know what was nutty is
What?
I actually just explained my scoring
Yeah.
because we were like, how is that going to work? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, let me show you my bet and,
you
I'll
did the work.
explain it.
You did the math.
And I said, I think it's going to end up being 300 something, and
Yeah.
or like it's going to be 900 total. And so I'm like, say it's 9 on the list, you would
Yeah.
divide it by 9, and that's how I got that number.
Damn, Jones.
And it was 9, sure enough. Look at that.
Smartest guy in the room.
Okay, come on. So that brings the score to Purple Platypi, 18. Red Eagles, 23.
Jones has the best caca.
Yeah,
Caca.
yeah. Brad,
Yes.
how do you do on your goal this week of keeping your hood up
Nailed it.
and getting me to do it at
You
one
did
point?
it.
Yeah.
You were very gracious and played along.
Damiani, how'd you do on your goal of not laughing at anything I do this entire podcast?
Got close.
It got close, but I think you nailed it.
Okay.
I think you never laughed
I was gonna
once.
ask. I was gonna say I need a judge's ruling. On
Yeah.
this.
You didn't laugh at anything I said the entire podcast, despite the fact that I was pretty much hilarious. Under iTunes,
Pretty much, though.
Yeah, under iTunes, they don't even put this under video games. It's under comedy.
You know,
because I'm so funny.
I would say you're the Nick Kroll of Easy Allies.
Thank you, Brad. Brandon Jones, how'd you do on your goal this week?
I did. I hope I wasn't too loud. I'm nervous that I blew out the microphone when I
Oh,
did that.
no.
'cause
Everyone
I
was
got
great,
I got up
Jones.
close and personal, but
Yeah,
That was
it
great.
was important for me to do, so I appreciate
yeah.
fans letting me do that at least once a
Yeah.
year.
Oh, we're gonna want it more. We're gonna need to hear more
Once
of
a
Jones's
month.
Batman. Yeah, Jones's hateful Batman.
Shut up.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
on my goal of convincing everyone of doing something intelligent, failed a big one. That's a big 0 on that one. Let us talk about Easy Allies.
Well, the problem was there were some times where I was like, "Oh, he did the thing. Maybe I'll." And you're like, "Jones." I'm like, "Oh, well now, no. Now that you just soiled that. You had it."
Oh, that's funny.
Boom.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not a smart man. Just gotta know my place. Anyway, let us talk about Easy Allies because that is something worth talking about. Because Easy Allies is not just this podcast once a week. Easy Allies is much more than that. We are 9 people. We are many videos. We do reviews. We do previews. We do live streams, fun live streams, long live streams, short ones, all sorts of things. So Easy Allies is something worth checking out. If you're curious, if you want to see the kind of things that we do, go to easyallies.com. You'll see all the shows that we do right there. All of our streams are uploaded there. And it's all in your. We have a little schedule in your time zone even there. So it's a really good way to just keep track of what Easy Allies is all about. There's a forum on Easy Allies. It's a good way to contact us. And then also Patreon.com/Easy Allies is a good way to go to support us. That's how we exist. Is primarily through Patreon.com/Easy Allies. So you can help us there. We can help you there. It's something worth investigating. Easy Allies. .com. Patreon.com/Easy Allies. Twitch.tv/Easy Allies. Twitter.com/Easy Allies. Great. Jones, because you won the bet, you won many things.
Ooh.
You've won not just that point, but you have the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with or simply want to reiterate throughout this entire podcast. You get to promote. You know what I hate? I hate how much Jones genuinely likes this. You get to promote
You did this.
any Easy Allies video you would like to promote, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
You can follow me at Trailer Jones. Just the rivalry there between Mario and Sonic in the Olympic series. I think make it about the Olympics or make it about the rivalry, but don't kind of try to do both. Don't be like, look, we're playfully handling the rivalry. That old Super Nintendo Genesis rivalry. We settle it, with like the shot put. Like that's not failed. I recommend. I'm gonna recommend a show right now I've never recommended. I think ever in the history of the Easy Allies or Game Trailers podcast, and that will be Tabletop Escapades.
No.
I am very distant from this show. I do not watch episodes very often.
Yeah.
I have only been involved in it when asked specifically by Ben to be a part of special episodes. This is I do not keep up to track with characters and stuff like that. Memes are thrown at me about tabletop, and I'm like, huh? Like I miss it all.
Yeah.
But apparently the iron is hot right now. If you have not been tuning in, the magic is hitting the fan in that show. From what I can sense.
The magic is hitting the fan.
Yep.
Okay.
And flying in all directions. So if you want some fantasy chaos, tune in.
You picked a hell of a week to promote this show.
Feels like I did.
Yeah.
Feels like I did.
No, you're right. The magic's hitting the fan, man.
Yeah.
You're totally right about that.
So
right.
if you want to see the struggle is real that Ben has to go through on a not so weekly basis, but every month sitting down with all these jokers and,
it's
and trying
weekly,
to put
man.
that. It is weekly for the viewer, but it's not weekly for Ben.
It's weekly for us these days.
It feels
Yeah, no. We haven't done like a 3-banger in a long time.
We had 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Last time.
Support us on Patreon if you would like more 3-bangers. If you really want to put that back into our schedule. Kyle asked for it specifically.
That's why this is a comedy podcast. This is
yeah.
why iTunes does this.
That was a really intelligent thing you said, Kyle. So check it out. Tabletop Escapades, many episodes, but you can the last one's super crazy. You can go check that out. And thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers. I am enjoying these microtransactions.